Aloha. Aloha and Tashi Delay. From Kauai Tibetan Buddhist Dharma Center here on the island of Kauai in Hawaii. We present this class every Thursday night, 6 to 8 o'clock Hawaiian time. And for those that live in other parts of the world, we record it and put it on our website, hawaiidharma.org. This class is intended to bring some understanding of the nature of mind and how to use it in the Tibetan Lamaism tradition. It has been unchanged for 2,600 years, these teachings from Shakyamuni Buddha down to the present day. When we present this class, we have not only the website as a backup and a method of teaching, but also we remain available here on this island for local people by having a stupa so that we can teach them and a person to person. Because we're so crowded with tourists coming here, 3,000 a day, it's not safe for us to have Dharma practices in our center or our house. Now, for better understanding, I recommend certain books as a class. And one of my teachers is Lama Tsultrim Ayon. And she's been around a long time. She was actually the first Western nun in the United States and teacher. And she has a book about how she got to where she is today as a teacher called Wisdom Rising. This is an important also practice book because it teaches us about how the 5 elements are the 5 dakinis that accomplish our intentions. And so it's recommended reasoning. You can get it through Amazon. Another book that we use for practice so that you understand how to meditate and why is called Vivid Awareness. And this one's by Lama Dakshan Rinpoche. And Gongchar and Lama Trangu Rinpoche in Canada, these two have the same basic method of disseminating the Dharma. People ask me a lot of questions. They call me or they write to me or we meet personally. But one of the questions is, there's so much Dharma, it seems to be general application or generalized. This is not true. Each and every practice supports each and every other practice in a very special way. And that is to bring out, first of all, loving kindness as the basis of whatever we do, generated for the benefit of everyone and our environment. And then number 2, this compassion is combined into the practices in a way that's unlimited. In other words, it applies to everyone and to our environment, the world around it. But there's some understanding is necessary in the field of meditation because most people don't know how or why to learn to focus their mind, learn to be present, or learn to meditate, any of that. But for those that do, I'm going to read from Vivid Awareness that the whole purpose of the Dharma is to deal with what causes humans pain and suffering or afflictions. Now we have a body, speech, and mind, but we also have a mental, program that's constantly running that's not true, even though we think it is or we believe it is, according to each of us in a different way. And we also have a natural mind where the drama world and all its conflicting emotional energy isn't necessary. In fact, it doesn't exist. And that is the accomplishment of the freedom or liberation from the constant chatter of the story that we're telling ourselves that we're not true. And when you start to meditate, these meditations become the methods for dealing with these emotional afflictions, which are ingrained in each of us over a period of many thousands of lifetimes. So I'm going to read from page 194, the methods of dealing with emotional afflictions. This is a discovery of the different ways we can deal with these afflictions. In general, there are 3 different ways that we can learn to handle these afflictions, to make them disappear, reject them, block them, or view them as empty, or to follow them. These are the 3 ways. I'll say that again. The first way is to block them. The second way is to view them as voidness or emptiness, non-existent. And the third way is to follow them just as they are into the drama world, where they become an energy program that causes infinite pain and suffering. But it says here, a systematic cure to this illness called the emotional affliction is if you regard these disturbing emotions as false and reject them, they will temporarily be suppressed, but they're not cut at the root or at the cause of these afflictions. Consequently, at some point, the poisonous remnant will reemerge, as in the case of all the mundane dhyana states. Mundane means worldly. That includes all sentient beings from heaven to hell and in between. Number 2, this is on the next page. But if you meditate and regard these disturbing emotions as emptiness or voidness or non-existence, then your practice will turn into taking emptiness as the path, but not the disturbing emotions themselves. Thus, your practice doesn't become the short path, which is the special quality of mantra or tantric practice, which we call Mahayana Buddhism. Number 3, if on the other hand, in meditation, you indulge in the disturbing emotions, thinking that they are something concrete, it's like eating a poisonous plant. And the cause that binds you to this world of samsaric suffering. And this is especially true of people who like to copulate. What was it Karmapa said about sensationalism? Today you said everything in our society is based on sensation.
Oh no, he said, the last Karmapa said, the error of the West is that they're all overstimulated.
Oh, the error of the Western world is that we are overly stimulated.
And now it's spread to other countries.
And that has spread to many, many other countries. And that's a distraction to wisdom practice, to Dharma practice, to doing what we are teaching as a practice so that you liberate yourself. And one of the best ways to start is to not be overly stimulated. Put away the cell phone, the computer, the TV, the newspaper, the gossip, the idle chatter.
The news.
Well, the news, yeah.
The news.
Party. So anyway, 3 ways that you won't deal with the afflictions properly. So what is the way to deal with these afflictions? Through meditation. Well, we all have awareness. Everybody is aware in the human condition. And this awareness has two states of operation. As I mentioned before, the drama world, which is all of us. The other state is to release yourself from the stimulation of the drama world and relax in a state of clarity. Now, what is this state of clarity? Well, I don't have to read this because I'm experiencing this 24/7. And it's from many, many years of practicing what we call the Dharma with many, many teachers. And it's very simple. In fact, it's too simple. When you meditate, you're aware of what's going on with your body, you're aware of what's going on with your mental process, and the results, the emotional afflictions. All of this is tied to the thoughts or the process of thinking and imagining. Now, when you meditate and you sit like I'm sitting in a chair or on a cushion, back straight, so that you're in alignment with your inner energy field, and you bring your mind to the present, either by focusing on the breath or whatever kind of yoga or meditation the teacher has taught you, which we're going to do some of those in this class. Thoughts arise. Okay, so you're screwed if you block them. You're in more trouble if you follow them. And to think they're nothing whatsoever doesn't work, even though that's true. So what to do? As the thoughts arise, you have trained yourself to be focused, aware. And with practice, you more and more remain in the present. So your mind doesn't shift to past events or to the future. And here you are with just those thoughts arising. Maybe many at one time, maybe a few, maybe just one at a time. But no matter how these thoughts arise, do not block them. Do not entertain them, which means do not follow them, grasp them. And do not think they are nothing whatsoever, even though that's true. Because they're energy. So nothing doesn't really mean nothing, but energy is just space and light, which is what most people think is nothing, even though they're totally stimulated by all the space and light programming that's coming through, like with this program right now. You simply allow them to arise, whether they be attachment or hatred or fear or anxiety or depression, or jealousy, or being ignorant, stupid, like an animal. You just sit and be present and watch. My friend Ramdas said, and wrote a book called Be Here Now. But it's more than just being here now. You have to train your mind not to judge the thoughts as they arise, because they are very powerful, stimulating energy. And you've been involved with that this whole life and thousands of lifetimes before, and even thinking that you exist separate from the world around you, and thinking that you exist separate from the sentient beings in the world, the animals, the humans, and the spirits. Those are the sentient beings. And they're all infinite in number, and they're all everywhere. I mean, animals and humans aren't just on this little planet, like a tiny spark in a sea of infinite jillions of galaxies and planets, which is what the telescopes are showing it. No. So you want to enter into that field of infiniteness with unity. You want that to be in harmony with you. All of that, all of them, no matter how it seems or how they are. And the only way to do that is to learn to meditate with the guidance of a teacher that's already doing it. And be okay moment to moment with whatever is coming up in your mind. But the nature of that mind, which controls you, is space and light, void. And in reality, it's okay if it disappears. There's another program already in place for all human beings. So now that you know that, you can't say that the Dalai Lama or Karmapa or any of my other 50 or 100 teachers or me are generalizing. We're not. We treat every individual as an equal. But we also understand that every being is uniquely different. And that is what we want to be the basis of their practice. Somebody doesn't have their sound shut off listening to this program. Could be Dennis. In any case, we'll just have to have a little background stimulation. Now, all that said, the Dharma is presented in such a way that there are 4 thoughts that inspire one to practice the Dharma. And I mean practice every day, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, morning, evening, nighttime, whatever. And the first of those 4 thoughts is that each one of us has a precious human existence and can now use it with our connection to the Dharma to benefit others. So we should practice now. The second thought is everybody is impermanent. And by that, we mean you don't know your next thought or the next life, which is coming first. And all of us are transitioning out of these bodies very soon. So we should practice now. Number 3, all of us have karma. Everything that we say, think, and do has a result, which follows us like a shadow from life to life. And whatever we do that's negative or unhealthy or harmful brings terrible results to this and future existence. Everything we do that is helpful, kind, and considerate and beneficial brings very positive results to our situation now and in the future. And you must know that conditioned existence means that you are being conditioned by your body connected and everything outside of you. And that's not favorable. Why? Because conditioned existence is constantly changing, physically, mentally, emotionally, and for some of us, spiritually. But more importantly, it affects us on a physical, mental, and emotional level, this conditioned existence. And that's distracting. So we should practice to be present now. With those 4 thoughts, which actually should be contemplated very strongly every day, then we move into the Dharma by taking refuge. Now, most people don't want to take refuge with a teacher. They want to take refuge with themselves. Oh. Trouble coming. So what do? We generate an altruistic motivation that no religion or social program on this planet entertain. And it's very simple. That everything we are doing in these spiritual practices is for everybody else. And if by chance you might get some of the benefit, because there's no such thing as separation. All these sentient beings are your support. They're all ingrained into you. They've all been your mothers, girlfriends, fathers, lovers, pets, teachers. Many, many, many lifetimes in the past. So it goes like this. In order to attain enlightenment, which is why you take refuge, for yourself and limitless sentient beings, our mothers, or you could think of them all as your children, we now all together in practice take refuge with the teacher and offer prostrations and other very powerful Dharma practice. We go for refuge to all the holy lamas, men and women teachers all over the planet. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma. We go to refuge with all the yidams, who are the deities gathered in our mandala practices that treat the cause of pain and suffering, so that we can relax and enjoy our existence. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma because there's no other that traces the cause of pain and suffering. We go for refuge to all this noble Sangha that teach these methods. And we go for refuge to all the Dakas and Dakinis who are the protectors and defenders of Dharma, who activate for us what is best for us, what is appropriate. That's why we take refuge. So the altruistic motivation is chanted in Sanskrit, as is all of the Dharma, so that we have one language that will pervade all the different cultures and languages of the planet. The altruistic motivation is chanted also so that the spirits are enticed to be not only your friend, but to enter into the practice with you, because they inhabit your body and everything that you see around you all the time. Tadam Jowa Damke Tadam Yampe Semchen Tamche Dudine Jute GC Jangju Ningpo Lachi Bardu. Then the 6 refuges of the refuge prayer in Sanskrit. Alden Lama Dampa Namla Chapsu Chio Yidam Chokor Gilatso Namla Chapsu Chio Dampe Chur Namla Chapsu Chio Paupe Gendu Namla Chapsu Chio Pawo Kandro Chokyo Sume Sho Yeshe Ki Shendam Dempa Nama Chapsu Chio. Namla Chapsu Chio, we all together go for refuge. Then we practice Bodhisattva training. The 6 disciplines of the Bodhisattva as a way of being kind and considerate to everyone around us and to our environment. And in English, it goes like this. To the Buddha, Dharma, and this Supreme Assembly that we are taking refuge in, we go for this refuge in order to attain enlightenment, understanding of our true nature and how to use it. May I, through merit generated from practicing the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines called the 6 perfections, accomplish maturity in the human condition, Buddhahood, for the benefit of all sentient beings, my children. Sanjay Chodam Choki Chodam Janju Ardu Dagni Chapsu Chi Dagi Jenso Jipe Sona Hidrola Penjer Sanjay Ju Parsho. This refuge sheet was put together with the help of about 100 different teachers and Sangha here in Hawaii. And the back part of it was helped put together by my teacher Lama Rinchen and Lama Tenzin, who have now both left their bodies and gone into their next life. But I think of them as Lama Rinchen sitting on my right shoulder and Lama Tenzin sitting on my left shoulder. So that everything they taught me over 20 to 40 years, I'm still hearing. And to me, that works. The mind of enlightenment is simply the wish to free all beings, But by doing that, I must rely on the enlightened ones, their teachings, and the exalted Sangha community until I too am a mature human being, enlightened. Enthused by compassion and wisdom together in their sacred presence, I generate this mind of enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings, animals, humans, and spirit. For as long as space endures and sentient beings remain, may I dispel this world's misery with my love, unconditionally applied with light. Metta Karuna Mudita Upaika. Metta Karuna Mudita Upaika. Champa Ninja Kawa Tonya. Compassion, simplicity, and joy, and equanimity combined with loving kindness for myself and all beings. May all beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May all beings be away from suffering and the cause of pain and suffering. May all beings established in the highest bliss nature of their natural mind by my practice. May all beings therefore be established in a state of equality and equanimity, never again experiencing pain or suffering. Symbolism. Man and his symbols, women and their symbols. We generate these symbols because our mother created us out of these. They're called the 5 elements. They apply to everything, not just to our body. Earth, water, fire, air, space. Earth, water, fire, air, space. And they are called the mother principle of the entire universe. Every galaxy, every black hole, every earth, every particle, atom, molecule, down to the new ones that are being discovered. Their basis is these 5 elements. So tonight we're going to do the 5 elements healing practice using the 3 lights meditation, and then we're going to move to the 5 elements as the 5 deities of the true nature of the universe, being the mother of perfect wisdom, who generates all this wisdom spontaneously through every woman on the planet. And every woman on the planet has a special quality that the men don't have, and it's called intuitive awareness. And whether they use it or not, or cop to it or not, they need that. Whenever a human being is coming into this world, not only during the conception period, but after they leave the womb home and become developed into a viable human being. And the activity of this is called the Dakini symbol, which is very simple to understand. It's like the mother's relationship to her only child, unconditional. And that is highest intelligence. You know, everybody has love, but it's all conditional, kind of wishy-washy. I'll love you if you give me this, kind of thing. But in unconditional love, always everything going out in a very nice way. And so I'm going to read you the activity of each of these 5 elements according to the Wisdom Mother principle of Tibetan Buddhism. And you must understand, these dakinis accomplish for you as a practitioner what is appropriate for you. Because we're very, very needy. It doesn't hurt. That doesn't go away from developing from a child into adulthood. With the element water, the activity of the mother principle of that element is purity or bliss. And water is very powerful. It can destroy a rock. And it can destroy negativity if used in spiritual practice. It is absolutely necessary in pacifying these emotional afflictions because you can only do that in a body of water, which is your human form. And you can only do that on a planet of water, which is right under your feet. And its energy is touch. Which is what you experience a few moments out of the womb. The air element, which is in our tradition is called the wisdom prana life support element of the Dakini, is enjoyment. Its activity is auspicious, which is my name, Tashi, means auspicious, means suitable for spiritual development. It removes obstacles because it's forceful, it's moving, action. It is wrathful because it is powerful, and it affects your taste of smell. The heart chakra is the wisdom dakini of clarity because its energy is space and light. And this peaceful state of voidness affects your smell, which is 90% of taste, which is the next element, Earth Mother. She is the creation power of the Earth Mother. The qualities are enrichment, increasing good health, supreme generosity, applied to everyone equally, the accomplishment of good health while in the physical form and in the next life, and she affects your taste. Yummy. What we eat. And finally, we come to the fire element, which is radiation, a form of radiation, like 5G, or nuclear power, or the sun. But for us, it's the warmth created by the movements in the body and the outside effect of the earth around it. It is magnetizing and attracts what is, in practice, useful, appropriate, and beneficial. And it affects your sight and your imagination. This part of your brain that imagines, this part of your body that sees. These two together in the wisdom practice of the Lamas work together. And they are the Dakini energy of this lotus family Hemachondra, she's called. Padma Dakini. And these symbols have been around for 5,000 years in various cultures for healing. Through a Dakini called Kuan Yin. And have evolved over time to India, China, and many other countries, the Indians of the United States, America, Canada, and so forth. The cultures of Australia, and all the cultures of the planet. Now, this is not New Age. So now we're going to use these practices in a very unique way. With the power of the imagination combined with the breath, the breathing, to bring us into a state of presence that allows the true nature of everything, which is space and light, to not only affect the breath, but the imagination and the world around us. And this is worldly. This practice is done by any age of human being, child, adolescent, teenager, adult, elderly. So sit with your back straight, head slightly tilted forward. Hands in a comfortable position, either on your knees or in your lap. Mouth closed if you can, breathe through the nose, otherwise slightly open. And your eyes half closed, softly gazing to the space and light energy, which you see as nothing right in front of your eyes, 2 feet in front. When these positions are in place, then you simply bring what you already have, your awareness, your focus, to your breath. Inhale and visualize that the air which possesses the 5 elements fills your lungs with white light. Spontaneously, the energy of those elements spreads to every cell in your body as red light. See that as a flash through your form, even your hair, if you have. Then bring these 2 codes together of the breath pattern, the white and the red, and exhale blue light out to space and think of it as a powerful healing breath available to every kind of sentient being in space. And you can think of space like the sky, which our telescope shows us is infinite and has no beginning, middle, or end. Inhale white light, fill your lungs. The absorption breath of the energy through your body is visualized red light through your body to every cell. Then those 2 codes together out the nose as blue light to everyone in space as a healing breath. Use this method and count 21 of these breaths, 3 light breaths. When you reach the 21st breath, take your focus off of the breath and collect the three lights, the white, red, and blue, and create with your imagination a tiny particle of energy similar to an atom and place it in the center of your chest, creating a heart chakra, energy center. And think of it as being in the central channel of your life force. The moment you do this, that energy of light, that particle, immediately merges with the infinite light of boundless space. This is called the all ground of everything that exists in the samsaric world and nirvana. So relax for a few moments in space. Contemplate space. It's the nature of your body, thoughts, and the whole universe. It's the mother principle of the element. Then take that spatial energy and with your imagination again invent the particle in your heart center called a chakra, a bindu, or in Tibetan, a tigli, and allow it to grow into a tiny sphere of clear light, as small as you can imagine that, smaller than your thumbnail. Then grow from that small sphere of light, one of the 5 elements, which are symbolically represented. And tonight, I'm going to choose air, which is symbolically a half sphere of green light. And it appears in the center of your heart chakra, about no larger than your thumbnail. Now the symbolism is not lost as you label this air. Which is a universal energy. But most importantly, it's the main one that keeps you alive in your body. And you share it with everybody on this small rock we call Mother Earth. Powerful. But since you are imagining it in your heart center, it becomes the mother principle of the support of that which I read to you, that even affects your hearing. For instance, this sound, Tashi's voice, comes to you through the air molecule into your receiving orifice and then into your meaty brain. Immediately on entering the brain, it starts to stimulate substances that pass through your foreign body. That's how powerful this element is for healing. Focusing on that half sphere of green light, visualize it to move out in front of your body and up before your eyes, 2 feet in front. Use your 3 eyes to see it there. Then imagine it to grow in size to a large room that you can see your physical body just as you are, standing, laying down, or sitting, inside this half sphere of green light labeled air. And receive the healing qualities of the mother principle of all five elements through this one. But for certain healing energies, just the air is appropriate. There you are, being present inside a half sphere of green light. Meditating, being present, accepting the own power of your practice, your mind, to heal yourself. The next step is to share it with the world around you by imagining it to grow inside, to take up an area of about 50 miles in diameter. Here in Hawaii, we imagine it to be the island of Kauai and surrounding ocean inside. Then expand it in size to completely enclose Mother Earth, including her air atmosphere. Using imagination and focus together, imagine it to grow in size to completely enclose our spire, our solar system. All the planets and the sun inside. Billions of miles in every direction. Imagine it to grow in size to completely enclose our spiral dish-shaped galaxy, which is one of an infinite number filling the totality of space. And it's only 100,000 light years in diameter. Then move beyond the boundaries of your ordinary mind, your conceptual mind, and allow this symbol to merge with boundless space. If you like, you can keep the green color for space. Or not. This state of spatial awareness is the ultimate healing energy available to us through meditation practice. But you can't meditate on it. It's infinite. It has no center or boundary. So we use the term contemplate, ponder. It's the first thing a mother gives for a human being to enter and form in her body. Then return to the practice of the healing elemental energies by again imagining the half sphere of green light enclosing the galaxy. Reduce it in size to just enclosing the solar system. Shrink it to just enclosing Mother Earth. Smaller and smaller to just enclosing the city, town, or a large area where you are doing this practice. Then shrink all that healing energy down into just the symbol enclosing your physical body. Receiving the total life force support into your form. To strengthen and heal you from inside. Breathe. Smile. And end your practice by bringing the symbol to in front of your eyes to its original small size. Drop it to chest level, bring it into your heart chakra where everything is dealt with. Then smaller and smaller to a tiny particle of light which blends with the totality of light throughout boundless space, and relax, no meditation. Be present. Ponder space. Then bring the awareness and any good results which arise from this practice with the symbol to in front of your eye as awareness. And it becomes the air, which is everywhere. In and around your body and around Mother Earth, it's everywhere. It's infinite. Then bring the symbol and the awareness to everybody that you have influence, so that your every exhale is for their benefit. And there are many healing practices in Tibetan Buddhism that use the breath to accomplish extremely good healing results. Tumo is one, Tong Lin is another, and so forth. And dedicate the virtue of this short performance of the three lights combined with the 5-element healing practice to bring whatever is appropriate to every being you have contact with, that you think of. Now we enter into the mantra game. From the symbol game, which is in the Hinayana of all religions, because all religions use symbols, human or otherwise, to the vibration of the sound of the voice combined with the imagination and the heart energy of the teacher's loving kindness embedded in us through transmission. And so the lamas in the Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana practices give a transmission of their body, speech, and mind into the practitioner so that whatever they can do, accomplish, the disciple can do, and maybe even better. Tonight we're going to introduce what the 5 elements bring into actuality in Tibetan Buddhism is the Tara practice. And we use the green Tara because green is the symbol of the element that we use. And it also has an emotional purification of a very, very powerful, nasty human program called jealousy. And this judgmental program can completely ruin one's life. So activating the Tara practice actually brings into the antidote for people that have this tendency to want what somebody else has to the point where they'd harm that person. But jealousy is so damaging to the human form that in its activation mentally, it creates terrible secretions that pass through the body and lock up in the joints, bones, tendon. And even affects the yakety yak of your jaw. But in Tara practice, you want to become, like you did the air element with your focus, this deity that doesn't exist. As a symbol of everything is the same nature. As an energy program. To compensate not only for that specific one, but also anger, hatred, desire, attachment, aversion, pride, greed, fear, and hope. Throw them out the window. They're wasted energy. And all you need to do is three things, which the Mama transmits to you. The first one is the vibration of the energy as a totally applied program throughout creation. It's called the creation symbol, and it is the seed syllable Tom in Sanskrit, which looks like a letter 5 with a blazing energy ball or dot of light. And out of the top of the light is this dot is a little flame, that's your awareness. And down at the very bottom of it is an ah, which is the sound of energy itself. And this altogether spells T, A, A, M, like the mother, M, Tom. And it is the blazing energy of all 5 elements in action together. Just like earth, water, fire, air, space create a hand or a fist. Still together. The second thing is the vibration of the deity itself is to symbolize that your body is no more real than the body of the deity. It is a body of bliss awareness as a wisdom symbol of intuitive awareness so that you know your nature, your true nature of your mind and how to use it, how to apply it. Not only to yourself, but to the world around you and all the sentient beings in the universe. So Tara is a female human form sitting on a lotus sun and moon seat, which means symbolizes coming into the human world condition, with a kata, a white scarf, which in Hawaii means the way to honor others, give a kata. In Hawaii, we give flower leis. We have Abby made a flower offering. The right hand is open on the palm outward on the left knee, the symbol of generosity. The left hand, thumb and ring finger hold a lotus at the left ear, symbolizing loving kindness, the vibration of it. Beautiful lotus. She wears silks and jewels. The 5 colors of silks are the symbol of the 5 elements. The 6 kinds of jewelry are the 6 bodhisattva disciplines. And a 5-jewel crown is the 5 states of wisdom awareness, which cannot be separated from the 5 elements. And these 5 wisdom awareness energy field we activate with her practice. And they can't be separate, but we move around them individually, like the energy field of infinite light, which is obviously the nature of the universe and your mind. The action of the elements, which is obvious. Their infinite healing potential of clarity in the mental process, which is obvious. That they're equally shared by everybody, so we're all equal. A god and a cockroach are equal. And we have this discerning that what's it, like a mother for her only child, what's appropriate? What works? What's beneficial? What's kind and considerate? What's nice? and delete all the rest. That's called discerning awareness. Discern all the negative. But her main game is to remove all obstacles very fast. And the worst two obstacles of being overly stimulated, as we are in America, Canada, and so forth, is fear and hope. It permeates our culture. They don't work. Hope is useless. Fear is wasted energy. It causes you untold damage, physically, mentally, emotionally, and most of all, spiritually. So if you have an absence of fear, that means you're totally fearless. That's one of the 21 qualities of Tara. And then the third aspect of the deity is you are going to, with the initiation of empowerment of the Lama, apply this to your own mother who created you and sitting right in front of you as Tara. And then to all sentient beings in the universe, animals and humans and spirits, no matter how weird they are, as Tara. And that causes the mantra, the third thing, to apply, that projection. And in no tradition of the planet does anybody use this kind of symbol or projection. And when you do that, it fills your mind. It fills all spirits are everywhere in the universe. Sentient beings, animals throughout the universe, on planets everywhere. Even on this planet, can't be counted. Oh yeah, we got 8 billion humans now. Whoopee. But the animals, which were infinite in number, are decreasing. But still infinite in number in the ocean and on the land. And the spirits are infinite because they inhabit the whole universe. Now we start the practice. See the seed syllable in your heart center, Tom. In a sphere of 5-colored light. Say the Tom 10 times and visualize it goes out and collects all the wisdom energy from all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and all the Lamas and teachers and all the good mothers. And all that energy comes into your heart. Tom, Tom, Tom. Tom, 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 Tom. It's 4 times. Tom, Tom, Tom. So 3 to begin with. 4 in the middle brings it all together. The first 3 was for your body, speech, and mind. And the last 3 set up the universe as a Buddha energy training field, and it's in infinite. It's called the Dharmakaya, and then all the deities fill that. That's called the Sambhogakaya, the bliss. And then all the teachers are the carrier of those 2 to everybody else, just like you're doing with this practice. Then the teacher appears in front with the Tom in his heart center, and 3 colors of light, white from the teacher's head, red from the teacher's throat, and blue from the teacher's heart center, coming to you. And they carry 3 vibrations of energy. The white light is being the deity, is the sound Om, the universe symbol of the perfect mother, Tara. Wisdom mother. Tara and the Lama inseparable. Then the red light is the vibration of the speech, being empowered to be helpful, kind, considerate, but powerful in its activation. That's the red light with the sound ah. Then the blue light is the wisdom energy of the heartfelt kindness with all the power to accomplish whatever is appropriate. Into your heart chakra, the sound hum. Now, hum is an infinite healing sound. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, 100% effective for everyone. Hum. Then all three lights shining separately come into you. Those three vibrations enter your head, throat, and heart chakra. Then the Lama melts into you, like water into water. Then the body, speech, and mind of the Lama is Om Ahum, all come down together to the heart chakra and create the sound of the deity, which in this case is Tom. Now you are Tara. Now your mother and all sentient beings in the universe are Tara. Creating this light mandala in this way causes the heart mantra to appear as 10 syllables in your heart center. Om Tara, Tu Tare, Tu Re, So Ha, 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 Om Tara, Tu Tare, Tu Re, So Ha. Now the Tara mantra is not just a vibration of the energy of compassion and power and insight combined. Everybody wants power, but they don't want to be kind and considerate with it, which is what's ruining the planet. You must have insight into the true nature of your natural state, which the deity represents. But you also must have concern for the well-being and for the environment of the planet. Instilled in your nature. Then the power won't cause you to be needy. I, me, mine. Which is devastating. Because you universally become the wisdom mother Tara with the mantra. Om is the vibration of the energy of the all ground. Light and space is everything. Tara is the wisdom mother, Tara. Peaceful and powerful, wrathful. Tu Tare, swiftly moving negative out of the movie. Out of your conversation about who you think you are, which is not true. And all outer obstacles which cause you trouble. Touring means swiftly accomplishing. No fool around. And sva, which is Sanskrit, Tibetan, is soha, means infinitely applied and always increasing this program. And Tara is connected to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Chenrezig, Vajrapani, and Manjushri being the main three, body, speech, and mind. But she comes in wisdom aspects: white Tara, green Tara, blue Tara, red Tara. And every one of these 5 Taras, white, red, blue, green, and gold, have 21 qualities. And these 21 qualities are inherent in you already. So the Tom, this seed syllable, creates the wisdom energy field universally applied. The mantra, whatever mantra you use, surrounds the Tom horizontally. It's shown vertically, but it's applied horizontally. And this 5-color sphere of light is the 5 elements and the 5 wisdoms together, encompassing it. Then people want to know, what are these 21 qualities? When you think of Tara, you think, well, she's one green deity. She's the 5 elements in action. And the outer mantra is universal, and it has 108 different vibrations. The inner mantra of the heart chakra is infinite and has 21 vibrations. And it's shown with these circular energy fields. But what are they? What are you activating with this Tara? With the empowerment of the Lama, you're activating compassion, power, and insight simultaneously as a first result of the practice. Then the 21 Taras come from that. And the first one of these is the green Tara, the wisdom Tara of compassion, power, and insight. Then swift protection, then creative wisdom, then impeccable virtue, then all victorious, then sublime intelligence, and worthy of honor, then invincible courage. Oh boy, there goes fear and hope. How about destroys negativity? A true refuge. The Lama and the deity are a true, absolutely true refuge. If a person takes refuge, they're entering into this type of mandala. Joy and laughter. Distributor of wealth. Auspicious beauty. Irresistible truth. Ferocious compassion applied peacefully and like a mother for her unruly children. Serene peace. Destroys attachment. Let go of everything. It's her activity. Triumphant joy. Transformer of poison into spiritual energy practice. Remover of sadness and sorrow. Radiant health. Complete enlightenment in one lifetime. Oh, is that all? right here in front of Lama Tashi, Alio. This Lama Alio, she is Tara, embodied in human form. And she's been around longer than me. And that's a long time. Om Tara, tu Tara, tu re so. 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 Tu Tara, tu re so. Om Tara, tu Tara, tu re so. Now, one of the ways that we use the Tara mantra to remove obstacles, outer negative influence by humans, animals, or spirit, such as those that practice religion with a harmful intention, which is most of the religions on the planet, including forms of Buddhism. And those that practice sorcery, witchcraft, to harm others. Or to use the energy of harmful spirits to harm others. Or any form of animal, human, or spiritual energy that comes to harm a human being, to harm you. But most importantly, to overcome these 84,000 afflictive emotional programs that we have put into our existence. All forms of attachment, all forms of anger, all forms of jealousy, all forms of arrogance, and all forms of delusion or stupidity. Each one of those 4 categories, predominantly 5 categories, cause rebirth in not so nice existences in the next life. It's the emotional program that determines what's going to happen? Oh. So we practice. Om Dara Tutare Ture Soha. 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 When you activate this mantra with your speech, it starts to turn counterclockwise around the tom inside a 5-color sphere of light in your heart center. And that activating energy causes the infinite taras around you to do what you request. What's appropriate for you? Write it down. Imagine it. Think it while you're sounding the mantra. Om Tara Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Om Dara 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 Tutare Ture Soha. This hand symbolizes infinite gratitude and infinite generosity out to infinite sentient beings. This hand symbolizes the activity of the Tara, infinite rebirth and infinite humans, situations, conditions, not only on one planet, but everywhere where humans take birth. Om Dara Tutare Ture Soha. 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 Dara Ture Soha. Om Dara Tutare Ture Soha. It is recommended that you do 100,000 recitations of Tara. While you're imagining yourself as Tara projected to all the animals, all the humans, and all the spirit in the entire universe, creating this mandala. And the seed syllable Tom and the mantra blasting through you and out as healing energy to your surrounding area. Maybe as far out as the earth extending, or as far out as the solar system. "108 recitations using a mala is advisable for one practice session. Or sounding the Tara mantra for at least 5 or 10 minutes. Time it. Om Tara Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tara Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tara Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tara to Tara to so 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 Om Tara to so. These five flowers are the five symbols in Tara's hair, which is bound up and some down the back, are the five Dhyana wisdom Buddhas symbolized by these five spheres. They're inseparable from the five elements. They're the same color code. Five wisdoms, five elements. This creates the whole universe as the Dharmakaya, suitable for bringing sentient beings into the human condition so that they can become mature, realized, conscious, mothers. And be unconditionally loving, kind, and considerate with this practice all the time, whether they're in a body or not. That's ultimate truth. Relative truth, thinking. Ultimate truth, no judgment. Mothers don't judge their children. Unconditionally loving their children, each one the same. Maybe applying different methods according to the individual's children tendency. And then that same system, you as Tara is applying to any kind of animal, human, or spirit. And on this planet, we got some really weird humans. Very, very strange humans. And very strange animals in the ocean. I know, I've been in there, down there with them. And on the land. And in the heavenly realms and the war god realms, the deprived spirit realm, and the realms of hatred, anger, rage, and harmful tendency. Hell. There's some really weird beings. So we treat each and every one as if they were our mother or child. That's Tara. Om Tara to Tara to so 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 Om Tara to Tara to so. Now, all of what we are doing with the seed soul of the mantra and creating the mandala of all beings being Tara is called the creation phase of Tantric practice. With that, we take the Mahayana, Hinayana, Vajrayana, and restructure our situation and this universe as the Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya mind of the Lama. Inseparable. Then we take all these sentient beings of being Tara into us at the end of the practice. Stream them all into you, into your heart. Either in stages or all at once. Then you as the central symbol of Tara, compassion, power, and insight, and the 21 qualities of Tara, and the 5 elemental symbols of the Tara, all of that dissolves into the free of the Tom, which is the light energy of the universe. Everything as it is. Nothing added, nothing taken away. Disappeared completely the whole mandala. With the seed level, 5 colors of light, and contract down to a tiny point of your light and enter into voidness, like space. A state of complete calm. And understanding how to use that. No meditation. Be present. Don't judge your thoughts. Don't judge your bodily sensation. Let everything arise just as it is. It appears, and then it disappears on its own. The trick in meditation is to stay present. 1 second to the past, don't go. 1 second to the future, don't go. Present. Now we're going to do the second practice using the Tara with the Chenrezi, which is the male aspect of wisdom, which is all the methods of Tibetan Buddhism in one symbol, 1,000 methods. The same forearm Chenrezi that you use, like Tara, appears in 5 colors. Tonight we're going to use the red Chenrezi, which is the wisdom of discerning awareness combined with the higher energy as the Dakini. But the red Chenrezi is sitting like this Chenrezi in full lotus and has a little offering vase in its hand, like this. And this offering vase is to offer the wisdom energy of compassion, power, and insight out to 4 Dakinis, 4 Taras, a blue one in front, on your right, a gold one. Sorry, these are standing now. Behind you, the red Tara. And on your left, the green Tara. Blue, gold, red, green.
Is there a white? Is there a white one?
The white one is above your head.
Okay.
Okay. Now each of these Taras is standing holding a base like this base full of bliss energy. of knowing absolute truth of your consciousness, awareness, and using it. And when you say this mantra of this red Chenrezi, and he has a name, Amitayas, he is two-armed, and from his base, when you sound the mantra, light goes out into the base of the blue standing Tara in front holding a base, the gold standing Tara on the right holding a base, the red Tara facing you and behind holding a base, and the green Tara standing on your left holding a base. Then the wisdom energy of his goes into each of those bases and the white Tara above, the Buddha Dakini, the Buddha Tara. Then from their bases, it all comes into your Uma channel and fills your body, and then comes out your heart as infinite light, as bliss to infinite sentient being. Now, bliss is indescribable. You get a taste of it in sexual union. You get a taste of it with the perfect dinner. You get a taste of it with a diamond in your hand, and so forth. But unimaginable. And that's the wisdom energy of your own mind that you want to give to everybody. So from your heart center, it goes out to the four realms of the spirits and to wherever animals and humans take birth, not on this planet, but anywhere in the universe. When you sound the mantra, this Dakini energy is the program. Om, Mi, Ra, Ni, Za, Wen, Tai, So. 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 Za is Ja, also the sound. It's a Tibetan word for infinite wealth and good health from the Dakinis. These five wisdom Dakinis, these five Tara, these five they call them space gold. In front, water to the right, earth behind you, fire, radiation to your left, air overhead, space, all holding the offering base called Bumpa, the same as yours. Yours goes into theirs. Theirs all fills up and goes into you. Fills you and out your heart, out of kindness, compassion, power, and insight to every single being in the universe, and they become Amitayas. Same as you. This is how you do the projection in this long life wealth practice. Om Mami Rani Zo and Dai So. Mami Rani So. Om Mami Rani Zo and Dai So. Om Mami So. Om Mami Rani Zo and Dai 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 So. This is to call the Dakinis, infinite in number, those 5 Buddha families, those 5, what we call the wisdom Tara, elemental Tara. Om Mami Rani Zo. Then you imagine all the sentient beings relieved of all their emotional affliction, become the 5 colors of Tara. Some green tar, some red tar, some blue tar, some gold tar, some white tar. Then they all come into you from every direction. Then the 5 Dakinis melt into you. Then you as Amitayas disappear into the seed-soluble tree. The vibration of infinite light of Amitabha, Buddha. And in this state of infinite light, everything disappears. And spatial awareness takes its place with nothing to add and nothing to take away, a complete state of clarity, a complete state of openness to this infinite view of voidness. And an infinite state of presence. As a vivid awareness. No meditation. Relax in bliss. Now, all this Dharma practice we've done tonight, we dedicate to the virtue of all sentient beings. And all of this spiritual activity that we are generating in this life, we do so by the power of these virtuous actions, by the loving kindness of my parents to me, and the wisdom teachings of bodhicitta by my lamas, and my commitment to all my Vajra sisters and brothers, and the connection between myself and all men and women, possessions, and even beasts of burden from which I take milk and yogurt to drink. All of these, without leaving one behind, may they quickly reach the sublime and perfect state of maturity in the human condition called Buddhahood. Ewa di nurdu da, chagya japo drudurne, chowa chenki malupa, te sala goparsho, Sanjay kusam dimpa jamla dam, joni megur dimpa jamla dam, kendu miche dumpa jamla ki, chitar gongwa munga duparsho. Having realized Mahamudra may quickly establish all beings without a single exception in this state. By the blessing of the three bodies of the Buddha being pleased, by the blessing of the truth of the Dharma being unchanging, and by the blessing of the wishes of the Sangha being unwavering, may this dedication prayer be fulfilled. May all beings be happy, free of pain and suffering, established in bliss and equanimity. Aloha and Tashi Dele. Mahalo. Juchi Che, thank you very much.